Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians, welcome to this year's Rotary in London District 1130's Foundation Appreciation Evening. I'm Louise McCann-Price, President of the Rotary Club of Putney, and I will be your host for this evening's awards. To begin this auspicious occasion, please welcome District Rotary Foundation Chair and past District Governor, Robert Morris.
Good evening and a warm welcome to this special evening in our Rotary District calendar, the District 1130 Foundation Appreciation event. This is our 8th annual appreciation evening and the first where you've had a completely free choice over the menu. November is Foundation Month, so what better way to promote the Rotary Foundation than to celebrate the great support that clubs in our district give to our charity, and to recognise both their giving and their grant-funded projects. That this year has brought unique challenges to us all is an understatement. Yet so many clubs have rallied to these challenges and reached out to help their communities in this time of great need. The Rotary Foundation uniquely allowed districts to use some of their district grant fund allocation for the year 2021 before we even apply for it. But more on those district grant projects later. Tonight, we have so far 69 attendees, 99 registered, which is brilliant, and we are privileged to have with us amongst them Rotarians from beyond our district, both nationally and internationally, and welcome to you all. We're including, of course, our great keynote speaker, but more of that later. Perhaps there is here one benefit from having to meet online. They are able to join us and be present with us in person. During the evening, the next hour, we will have a number of awards to present, which will be ably led by our voiceover MC, Louise. And yes, all awards will be posted out after tonight. As Dick has mentioned, please do note that the event is being recorded and will be available in due course. So I'll now pass you back to our tech guru, Himanshu, and specifically to Louise.
Please give a warm Rotary in London welcome to committed Rotarian and trustee of the Rotary Foundation, Brenda Cressy. In 2018 to 2019, Brenda served as the first female vice chair and later chair of the Rotary Foundation. And we are delighted to have her here with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Brenda Cressy.
Good evening, and thank you for having me this evening. District Governor Francis, thank you for this warm welcome. Rotary leaders, Rotarians, and guests, I'm delighted to be with you here this evening because it provides me an opportunity to extend my special thanks and gratitude for your outstanding support of our foundation. Our Rotary Foundation Trustee Chair, past Rotary International President, also extends his warm welcome and appreciation as well. It's wonderful to be in attendance this evening with all our generous donors and guests to experience this exclusive virtual appreciation event together. And I sincerely want to thank and acknowledge my good friend and fellow Arch Clump Society member, Soraya Kasamali, for extending this wonderful invitation to me. Thank you so much, Soraya. This evening, I'm pleased to share Rotary Foundation highlights with you. However, before I begin, let me say how I'm always struck by your generosity, support, and passion for our Rotary Foundation. I'm so often reminded that each Rotarian has his or her own reasons for getting involved with Rotary and supporting our foundation programs. And I hope that each of you will find that special program or project that will continue to make you the most passionate and inspire you to continue supporting our foundation to the best of your ability. When Rotarians get involved in our foundation through projects and service, they see the value of their contributions. And I see each of you as an ambassador to our foundation. You are all active partners in doing good in the world. So thank you for staying engaged in sharing the wonders of our foundation with Rotarians in your own clubs and in this great district. I am convinced that if we share our humanitarian results with others, they too will support our programs. And once it's safe to do so, I hope that you'll consider hosting an event such as this for your own club to recognize those members in your club who are generous supporters of the foundation as well. You know, it's always such a pleasure for me to have an opportunity to share my passion for what Rotary stands for, and especially the Rotary Foundation. To me, our foundation is the lifeblood of the organization. It allows us to live out Rotary's action plan. The foundation allows us to be effective problem solvers and to be impactful. Our global reach allows us to inspire, support, and motivate others. And our foundation projects and programs help us remain engaged in the good work of Rotary. And finally, throughout this pandemic, we have learned to quickly adapt and be very flexible. And each of you are making an incredible difference. I congratulate each of you for stepping up and doing what you can this year to support your own club president. I know the governors have it hard, but the club presidents are making an extraordinary effort to keep everyone together. I am so proud of all the club presidents around the world. But today I would just like to touch on a few updates of our foundation's signature initiatives that I thought you might be interested in. And of course, we all face challenges: the coronavirus pandemic, the economic turmoil, and in some countries, waves of social unrest. And at this difficult time, the world needs Rotary to help bring people together. And the world needs Rotary to help the most vulnerable. And Rotarians need each other. We need to stay connected, and we need to continue to take action against COVID-19 and so many other priorities that we all face in our own communities. I'm proud too of the fact that all of our work is being recognized. Some of you may join LinkedIn, and we were just named one of the top 10 volunteering organizations for 2020 by LinkedIn, which tracks nonprofits with the highest average number of monthly volunteers. So clearly, our mission has never been more important. We took swift action for the cause of public health long before COVID appeared. And because of that experience, we are making a huge difference today. We're finding ways to apply our knowledge and experience in fighting another deadly disease, polio, to COVID-19 response. The polio eradication program is already using the advanced disease eradication infrastructure to protect the vulnerable from COVID-19, especially in our polio endemic countries. And of course, we recently celebrated the entire African continent, and they are now polio-free, leaving us now with just those two countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan. But Rotary, its partners, and the governments have all come together in unity to get this job done. Many countries have begun to resume their polio immunization campaigns, with every effort being taken to ensure that our health workers remain safe and do not contribute to the spread of COVID-19. And in the midst of a pandemic, it's understandable that some attention to polio eradication would be diverted. But this makes it all the more vital for Rotarians to remain strongly committed to fighting polio and to not let our progress erode. Now, regarding COVID, we are people of action, people who create lasting change, equipped by the resources of the foundation. We can make a difference in thousands of communities throughout the world. And Rotarians have initiated several district and global grants, and over $21 million has already supported global grants in the fight against COVID-19. In addition, last year, the trustees temporarily added COVID-19 projects to a list of eligible activities for our new disaster response grants. And although COVID-19 disaster grants are no longer available through this grant type, it's only because of the generosity of Rotarians around the globe and that they've raised, and we spent over $7.8 million on these grants, and they have been dispersed between clubs and districts around the world, and they have supported COVID-19 projects. You know, it's 100 years plus. Our foundation has been here for all these years. It has been here for us, and it has been here for the world. We have raised and invested $5.3 billion at the end of June 2020. These funds supported projects and programs that have lasting effects in our communities. They empower Rotary members to continue promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, saving mothers and children, supporting education, and growing our local economies all over the world. And one of the impacts of the coronavirus pandemic is that it shed light on the relationship between environmental degradation and threats to public health. Both boards decided to add a new area of focus, supporting the environment. This will offer Rotary members another dedicated channel to increase our positive impact. This new area of focus for the environment will roll out on 1 July 2021. And it's interesting to note that we learned that Rotarians had already implemented $18 million in projects relating to the environment through the other 6 areas of focus. Quite extraordinary. This past Rotary year, we set an ambitious fundraising goal of $400 million. It's a comprehensive goal. It includes everything: polio, the Bill Gates match, endowment, all of those things. And Rotarians rallied together in spite of the pandemic and helped the foundation surpass the goal, and you raised over $408 million. So thank you. Thank you very much. This district is one of the top giving supporters in the foundation, and we really appreciate that support. The funds have boosted our efforts to eradicate polio, to train our peace builders, and support district and global grants. And thanks to generous Rotarians and friends of our foundation, we were able to award 1,350 global grants in 2019-20, grants for polio eradication totaling $151.8 million. Our Rotary Peace Fellowship applications have increased 180% between 2015 and 20, which shows the interest for the Peace Centers is growing rapidly, with a 15% increase in qualified candidates. And last year was the first ever when program awards exceeded $300 million at more than $307 million. And while the growth of our global grants is integral to the scope and impact of our work, it has also resulted in some very difficult decisions for the trustees of the foundation. The demand, because our annual fund is not keeping up with the demand for our grants, the demand has simply outstripped the supply of the available World Fund resources. So one of those difficult decisions at the end of last year was to no longer match cash contributions for approved global grants. This year, our comprehensive fundraising goal is $410 million. We will only make or exceed that goal with your help. This again includes the polio and the Bill and Melinda Foundation match. $135 million is what we're hoping to receive from Rotarians around the world this year for the annual fund. So please talk to your members in your club, and please support the foundation. the same foundation that has been with us all of these years, the same foundation that has made an impact. We need to continue the support so we can continue making an impact around the world. So moving forward, yes, some things will need to change permanently, but at its best, Rotary is a crucible for grassroots change. Whether it be for Polio Plus or global grants, it takes one idea from one member to make a real difference. Each of us wants to show how Rotary opens opportunities through our Rotary service. And your role as a Rotarian and a leader in this Rotary district gives you one of the best opportunities possible to do just that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brenda, for such a lovely address and important message. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start with the felicitations this evening, please welcome Rotary in Great Britain and Ireland President Tom Griffin, who has a very special message for us tonight.
Good evening. There are many special things about Rotary, characteristics which distinguish us from other membership and service organisations. One is our four-way test. Its emphasis on fairness and on the consequences for others of our actions enjoins us to consider deeply what we say and do. Something much needed in a world where the concept of truth is continually being stretched. Our core values, fellowship, integrity, diversity, leadership, and service describe a group of people committed to making a difference, not only in the world, not only among those less fortunate, but in themselves too, and doing so in a spirit of honesty, fairness, and equity. And one of the most important elements which sets Rotary apart is our foundation. It is through the Rotary Foundation that we all, whether we are in the largest club in the land or the smallest, can massively increase the impact of our service by accessing a district or a global grant. Projects supported by grants from Foundation have brought water and sanitation, education, medical services, and much more to communities throughout the world which had previously lacked them. All these basic necessities of life help bring true peace to communities. And Foundation has gone further in the pursuit of peace and the resolution of conflict. The fellows who graduate from our peace centres are engaged throughout the world in this work with charities, NGOs, governments, and other supranational bodies. Their work is too often unsung, but like so much we do, our world would be a much worse place without it. And how can one talk about Foundation without mentioning polio? The Rotary story of polio is a glorious one. When you think about what has been achieved, India polio-free, the World Health Organization Africa region free of the wild polio virus, polio endemic now in only 2 countries, so much has been achieved. Yes, the fight is not over, but thanks to Rotary and the Rotary Foundation, the world is on the cusp of eradicating this disease. But the Rotary Foundation can only support projects, fund polio eradication initiatives, work for peace if it has the financial means to do so. And that means that it must have the continuous support of Rotarians everywhere. We are here tonight to celebrate, recognise and thank clubs which have played their part in supporting Foundation and clubs which have attracted the support of Foundation for their worthwhile projects by accessing district and local grants. This year, of course, we are also recognising projects to help the communities deal with the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. That recognition and thanks is well deserved. May I add my congratulations to everyone who is being recognised tonight, and may I also thank District 1130 for staging this event. Let us continue to work together with the Rotary Foundation in its mission to do good in the world. Thank you and congratulations, as I said, to everyone tonight. Stay well and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotary in Great Britain and Ireland President Tom, for your wonderful and inspiring remarks. And without further ado, let's begin with the awards. Every year, London Rotarians give wholeheartedly to our own charity, the Rotary Foundation. And every year, District 1130 recognises those generous contributions at this award ceremony. Tonight, we'll recognise clubs giving, per capita club giving, and club service through foundation grants and activities. This year, we will also recognise COVID-19 projects done in the Rotary year 2019 to 2020 through foundation grants. Just a quick note to say that the certificates will be posted to club presidents shortly. So, let's begin. In London, like everywhere else, clubs and Rotarians dig deep into their pockets to donate to the foundation, which enables it to give grants of over $80 million every year. Every dollar given by Rotarians counts towards these grants. Our first category is for clubs who have donated between $1,000 and $2,000 to the Rotary Foundation in the Rotary year 2019 to 2020. A commended certificate of appreciation in this category goes to Rotary Club of Gants Hill, Rotary Club of Leytonstone and Woodford, Rotary Club of Edgware and Stanmore, Rotary Club of Northwick Park, Rotary Club of Barkingside, Rotary Club of Chiswick and Brentford, Rotary Club of Enfield Chase, Rotary Club of the City and Shoreditch, Rotary Club of Lewisham and Penge, Rotary Club of Radlett, Rotary Club of Battersea, Brixton and Clapham, and Rotary Club of Greenwich. Our next category is for clubs who have donated between $2,000 and $5,000 to the Rotary Foundation. A highly commended certificate of appreciation goes to Rotary Club of E-Club of London Centenary, Rotary Club of Hendon, Rotary Club of Westminster International, Rotary Club of Dulwich, Peckham and Crystal Palace, Rotary Club of Bush Hill Park, Rotary Club of Putney, Rotary Club of Battersea Park, Rotary Club of Southgate, Rotary Club of Redbridge, and Rotary Club of St. Marylebone. The next category is of clubs who have donated over $5,000 to the Rotary Foundation in the Rotary year 2019 to 2020. A certificate of excellence goes to the Rotary Club of Epping, Rotary Club of Golders Green, Rotary Club of London, Rotary Club of Barnet, Rotary Club of Stratford, and finally, Rotary Club of Tower Hamlets. We'd like to give a special mention to Tower Hamlets as they partnered with another charity called the Shanta Foundation and have demonstrated that a substantial increase in the size of a global grant project can be achieved by working with an outside organization or charity, with a very large contribution from their partner charity. Before our next section of awards, we have past District Governor Michael Hodge, Endowment and Major Gift Advisor, to talk about bequests, legacies and endowments to the Rotary Foundation. Please welcome past District Governor Michael Hodge.
Good evening. By attending this event, you have demonstrated your awareness of the good work undertaken by Rotarians around the world with financial support from the Rotary Foundation. But it's worthwhile reminding ourselves of the mission of the Rotary Foundation, and in particular, well, very specifically, that the mission to enable Rotarians to advance world understanding, goodwill and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education and the alleviation of poverty. I always like to start my talks drawing attention to this. Firstly, the mission is actually very similar to the object of Rotary, so it should be embedded in all of our actions, and it starts to enable Rotarians. Without Rotarians involved, the money that's contributed to the Rotary Foundation cannot actually be used. It has to be done by Rotarians. And why should we support the Rotary Foundation? Well, just a few pointers here. Our administration costs are very low. As I've just said, all projects are in the hands of Rotarians. We can decide where our projects are situated. Members of the cadre who are Rotarians audit all of the projects. Donations can actually go to the fund of your choice. You have a big choice as to where your money that you're contributing will actually go to. And if you place money in the endowment fund, that is never spent. The investment income is what is spent and supports the Rotary the Rotary projects that are ongoing. Some of you will be contributing through your clubs, but others will be making personal donations to the Rotary Foundation through RFUK, the Rotary Foundation UK. And by doing so, you'll be taking advantage of the tax concessions available to benefit RFUK and thereby TRF. These fall into two categories. As a direct payment, a donation to the Rotary Foundation UK, that is actually attracts gift aid. So the charity, RFUK, can claim back the basic rate tax that you will have paid. That's an extra 25% on your contribution. And if you are a donor, you can actually claim relief at your marginal rate of tax. And the second big advantage with regard to RFUK is in respect of estate planning. If you make a 10% bequest to a UK charity, the inheritance tax is reduced from 40% to 36% on the balance of the taxable estate. Some of you may have written a donation of $1,000 in your will many years ago. There was a big initiative, it was almost before my time in Rotary, encouraging Rotarians to actually make a bequest to the Rotary Foundation and become a benefactor, and that required a contribution just $1,000 in your will. But if you make a charitable legacy listing the Rotary Foundation, to be honest, it's any charity, but I'm hoping those people here will be thinking very strongly about the Rotary Foundation, making that payment through RFUK. With the cut on the inheritance tax rate on the rest of your estate from 40% to 36%, if you leave at least 10% of your net estate to a charity, effectively 76% of the amount of your bequest will be paid by the taxman. That seems to be a win-win situation to me. Real big advantage that we should be taking advantage of. The Rotary Foundation endowment. Well, you are part of the Rotary family. As being a Rotarian, certainly a Rotarian of some time in the organisation, but plan now to be part of it forever. The Rotary Foundation Endowment Fund, if you leave a legacy, you secure tomorrow. It's a gift that really does keep on giving. There's a very useful graphic. It was in the Rotary magazine a few weeks back, but essentially, if you had made a gift to the endowment fund, or your will had been realized and $25,000 had been given to the endowment fund back in 1995, then the capital value of that gift retained in the endowment would now be standing at $37,000, give or take a few pounds. But during that period, the amount of interest that would have accumulated and been spent would have amounted to $38,000. So actually a gift of $25,000 over a period of 25 years will have actually generated $75,000 for the benefit of the Rotary Foundation. And of course, it will continue to do so. It won't stop until perpetuity. It will not stop. If you're making a commitment to the Bequest Society, certainly if it's in excess of $25,000, you can be very clear as to how you want that money to be used, or the investment proceeds of that money to actually be used. And it can go in simple terms, it can go to the World Fund, share, the Rotary Peace Centres, can go for projects specific to an area of focus. And actually, you have the opportunity to carefully direct that. And that's done by producing a second document aside to your will called a testamentary gift agreement, which is lodged with the Rotary Foundation, and it records exactly what your intentions are. And that means that forever, your gift to the Rotary Foundation will be used exactly how you wanted it to be used for. If you create a will, it needs to be registered with the Rotary Foundation. As an endowment and major gift advisor, one of the challenges that I encounter is that gifts sometimes, or wills are sometimes realized out of the blue. Rotary in no context has actually been advised that such a gift is going to be coming. And the wills are obviously poorly drafted as to exactly who is the beneficiary. They refer to Rotary. They might refer to TRF or the Rotary Foundation. Ideally, they would refer to RF UK, Rotary Foundation in the United Kingdom, to get those tax concessions. Sometimes it's to the Rotary Club. And all of these cause immense problems in actually determining how the will and how the realizations can actually be utilized. And we would have to then try and look back and see what interest the donor had to try and make sure that the gift is used as close to whatever may have motivated that gift in the first place. So it's very important to actually register it. The easiest way to actually do that and to ensure that the Rotary element of a bequest is done in a way that is fully understood by the Rotary Foundation is to seek guidance from myself. Currently, which is the EMGA. I have been trained by the Rotary Foundation, we all have. We are knowledgeable about it, we are sensitive, we are discreet, and we have direct access to the significant support in the Rotary Foundation from the staff members. So really encourage you to get involved. If somebody wanted to do it, didn't feel too comfortable because perhaps I know them too well, I could actually just introduce them to the right staff member as well. So don't be put off by that. And thank you very much for listening. Always difficult trying to do a presentation of this type on a Zoom, but thank you for your existing support and continued and future support of the Rotary Foundation.
Thank you, Past District Governor Mike. For those not familiar with the different funds, the Rotary Foundation has three main funds: the Annual Fund, the Polio Plus Fund, and the Endowment Fund. All three funds have different purposes. Contributions to the Annual Fund is what enables the Foundation to award global grants. Our District 1130 can then support Club Global grants with district-designated funds and also award district grants. In every district, the Rotary Foundation recognizes 3 clubs with the highest per capita giving to the Rotary Foundation Annual Fund. This year, the banner for third highest per capita giving goes to Rotary Club of Tower Hamlets. The second highest per capita giving goes to Rotary Club of Barnet. And for the second year running, the highest per capita giving goes to Rotary Club of Stratford. And now we have the project awards. Every year, our District 1130 awards a number of district grants. These grants are small match funding grants which help clubs do smaller projects locally or internationally. Last year, we awarded 21 district grants. The winner of the Best District Grant project goes to Rotary Club of Edgware and Stanmore for their Shore Buggy People Carrier project. This project helps disabled adults be more independent with access to community facilities. The project was simple but effective, enhancing the lives of those who access the people carrier. It's a local club project which has direct existing Rotary involvement with the Shore Trust. The winner of the Best Global Grant is Rotary Club of Enfield for their project in East Asia, a project that is aimed at improving living and hygiene conditions in Iraonu village in Timor-Leste, which is a small island country also known as East Timor. This project is improving lives of 550 families and a primary school in the village. Well done to Rotary Club of Enfield. Our next award in this section is to recognize dedication to the Rotary Foundation service by clubs or individuals. This award has been constituted in the memory of late Rotarian Surya Vasani, a member of the Arch Klimpf Society, by his family. This award is given to a club or individual who have displayed the highest level of commitment and dedication in the service of the Rotary Foundation. For this reason, this award is being presented to Myra Williams from the Rotary Club of Leytonstone and Woodford for many years of coordinating incoming global scholars. Myra is the scholar coordinator for our district and often has to do significant background work. It covers the active liaison and support to clubs and to the scholars at all stages, from international districts and clubs putting forward a request for a potential host, guiding clubs on their obligation to support their scholars throughout, arranging training and some get-togethers for the scholars and their hosts, the scholar presentation at our district conference, making sure reports to TRF are submitted on time, and of course, helping when there are problems, especially this year with COVID-19 and the lockdown. London gets the largest number of global scholars in one city in the world, and Myra has been doing this role for years. Congratulations, Myra, truly deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the next section, please watch a special video about Rotary's effort in disease prevention.
A single act of good can go a long way. It can cross oceans, cure disease, and create equality. As members of Rotary, we are people of action, and our actions have the power to speak loud and clear. We're changing lives through our vision and unwavering commitment to fighting disease and bringing hope to those who need it most. Rotary's progress in polio eradication is an enduring example of our success. Building a global infrastructure and activating a network of volunteers capable of connecting the right people and inspiring action. Leveraging that success and the power of partnership, our global grants provide access to equipment, training, education, and vaccinations to ensure safe births and keeping kids healthy. Rotary Club members unite to create a world where our disease prevention and treatment programs aren't just changing lives, they're saving lives, providing surgeries and health assessments through practical and compassionate treatment. We're educating families and mobilizing communities to treat illnesses and prevent disease, engaging local health workers, and working with partners with expertise in cancer, heart disease, and diabetes care. Your contribution to the Rotary Foundation keeps families connected to a world of good. Every gift is an action that speaks volumes across clinics, communities, and continents. Learn how you can support the cause that means the most to you.
Normally, the last section would have been the end of the awards, but this year has been anything but normal. COVID-19 has changed the world. This year, we have faced the most challenging times in living memory, and our Rotarians have faced this challenge head-on. Every Rotary Club in District 1130 has done its bit, whether it is to serve key workers, neighbours, to assist the vulnerable or elderly, or to help food banks and soup kitchens. Rotarians have been there in the forefront in the fight against COVID-19. Tonight, we want to recognise those clubs in the district who have done projects through foundation grants. Firstly, we would like to call out the clubs who have done district grant projects. Rotary Club of Northwick Park, Rotary Club of Battersea Park, Rotary Club of Golders Green, Rotary Club of Newham, Rotary Club of Roding, Rotary Club of Mill Hill, Rotary Club of Epping, Rotary Club of Chiswick and Brentford, Rotary Club of Stratford, Rotary Club of Tower Hamlets, Rotary Club of Elstree, and Rotary Club of Kensington. Next up is a special mention to the COVID-19 Global Grant Projects. There were 4 Global Grant Projects. Our district supported a Global Grant Project aimed at providing training and PPE to doctors and medical staff of Belgaum and Sursi, Karnataka, India. Rotary Club of Tower Hamlets participated in an international global grant project which was aimed at providing PPE to hospitals in Salvador Vidas, Brazil. Rotary Club of Stratford led a project in partnership with Lepra UK to augment the testing capability of Lepra's lab in Hyderabad in India, to be able to provide testing to the vulnerable free of charge. And Rotary Club of Golders Green led a project to provide essential medical equipment for Mumbai hospitals. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the conclusion of our award presentations this evening. Please welcome our District Governor, Francis Uwechi, to address us.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Brenda, it's wonderful to see you again. The last time we met in Birmingham, when District Governor nominee designate now Soraya was being inducted into Ashclum Society, it was a very special honor, not only for Soraya but for the whole of our district. As Henry VIII said to each of his 6 wives, "I shan't keep you long." It's not really for me to say how wonderful we in this district have been supporting the foundation. It is personally an honor for me to find myself in a position where I can stand tall amongst other districts and say, this is how much we value the work of the Rotary Foundation. And so to Foundation Chairman Robert and his team, and indeed every other person participating tonight, I say well done. Well done not only for being part of the ceremony, but for placing our district once again on the map. Going forward, it is my hope that this year we will do even more than we did last year. And therefore, on behalf of the district, let me thank you very immensely, all of you who have won awards and all the clubs that have been recognized this evening. You will agree with me that this is a very important ceremony, not only for Rotary itself, but for the community. Because let's face it, Being recognized for the good work you do could be edifying, and this evening we have shown just that. Thank you very much for coming, and at this juncture, I will want to hand back to the Rotary Foundation Chairman, Robert Morris. Thank you very much.
Thank you, District Governor Francis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome past District Governor Robert Morris back to round up the evening for us.
Thank you very much, District Governor. To everybody here, a few vote of thanks, if I may, at this point in the evening. We had some wonderful speakers with us tonight. So let's start by thanking Brenda very much Trustee Brenda, for coming along tonight, joining in at a distance. That's brilliant. A great overview of the Rotary Foundation and the current work of Rotarians worldwide through the Foundation. And she reminded us, of course, of the importance of each of us to the success of the Foundation, and set us just a mild target of $135 million into the annual fund for this year. And I hope our district will do its bit. Thank you also to RGBI President Tom for his kind words he recorded for us over the weekend. It was appreciated that he did that instead of being able to be here as the person of his other commitments. The District Governor Francis, to reminding us all that our work putting the district firmly on the Foundation map, and appreciated his time for that. And a thank you to our endowment advisor, Mike. It's nice to have somebody at that level actually within the district. And he reminded us, of course, of the promoting the legacy giving and explaining to us a bit of the benefits that can continue from giving to the Foundation through a bequest, long after we may have not been able to be here ourselves. Some special notes to complete the evening. A personal thank you to Myra, who got the Surya Vasani Award this evening. It's many years that she has did the work of the coordinator of scholars in this district. It's a background task. It is a lot of hard work. And so thank you to her personally from me for all the time that she did, both for me and for my predecessors. And good luck to Adrian, who's taken on that mantle now. To all our visitors from across RIBI, from America, and even as far as Australia this evening, who've joined us for this special event. Apologies if I missed out any club from the awards this evening. If we did, we'll sort it. And of course, technical challenges. Such an event does have some challenges. Hopefully it went reasonably smoothly at your end. If there was any sound bits that went a little bit awry, then we apologise, but that's just the way it is with Techie. And some thank yous to complete the evening to Himanshu for all the help in making tonight happen. A lot of things have been needed. To Dick, to helping with the technical side. To Louise, who I think is now online, for recording all the voiceover and link-ins. Much appreciated to that. I say a thank you to all of our speakers again. To Roz and Adrian and the rest of the committee for all the work they do that may not have been explicitly mentioned tonight. Of course, the district grants were, but other things to say, please, thank you to all of you. A thank you to each and every one of the people who's been online tonight. We did have 80 actually logged in at one point, which is really good to see. Thank you very much, particularly as some of those will be couples who watch together. So that's a really good attendance, and thank you very much. Conclude with where would a Rotary evening be out? Say final toast to Rotary and peace the world over. I'd like to then conclude with a good night, stay safe, and of course, if you're really so inclined, you can now go watch the football and watch England beat the Republic of Ireland. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.